Recently, I've come across some thought provoking discussions featuring Peter Thiel, where he delves into ideas about the end times and even the Antichrist, despite not being a believer himself. What's striking is his use of biblical passages. He references the books of Daniel, 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, and Revelation to frame his arguments about the state of the modern world and the possibility of a coming global leader. Teal senses that time is running out for our world and theorizes about the rise of a powerful figure who could dominate the globe. He's developed what he calls the plot hole, his idea of the trigger that will enable the Antichrist to rise. According to Teal, this is a scenario where the world becomes so dangerous that people are gripped by fear. He cites events such as the detonation of the first nuclear weapon in 1945 as a turning point, after which humanity realized our world could truly be destroyed. He suggests that threats like nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, global surveillance, and even pandemics could be exploited to terrify people, and then the Antichrist would step in, offering to save them. Teal refers specifically to Matthew 24:36, quoting, "No one knows the day or the hour of Christ's coming." He interprets this as meaning we may not be able to know the exact time, but perhaps we can know the century. He sees history as following an arc, with technology driving us toward an inevitable climax. Teal also points to 1 Thessalonians 5, saying that the Antichrist's slogan will be peace and safety, referencing the passage, while people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly. He believes the Antichrist will use fear to control people, promising security in exchange for their submission. The interest in these topics isn't limited to Teal alone. A recent article from Prophecy Newswatch asks, why is Peter Thiel talking about the Antichrist when so many pastors won't? Thiel's worldview blends cultural Christianity, intellectual philosophy, and Silicon Valley futurism, which doesn't align with traditional Christian orthodoxy. Yet, he's openly discussing the Antichrist, a central figure in biblical eschatology, while many churches avoid the subject. The article laments that most churches have abandoned eschatology altogether, and in doing so, have also let go of deeper theological engagement. The irony, Prophecy Newswatch observes, is almost unbearable. A tech billionaire is willing to wrestle with the idea of the Antichrist while many churches ignore prophecy or even look down on those who take it seriously. Teal also wonders aloud why universities are not grappling with the concept of the end times, globalization, and the Antichrist, a question especially relevant since he himself is a Stanford graduate. But perhaps the bigger question is why the church is so silent on the topic. If we look at 1st and 2nd Thessalonians, we find that the apostle Paul taught the new believers in Thessalonica about the day of the Lord, the rapture, and the Antichrist, even calling him the man of lawlessness, the son of perdition. Paul explained that the restrainer must first be removed before the Antichrist can be revealed. You can see that in 2nd Thessalonians chapter 2. Even though these converts had only recently turned away from Greek mythology, Paul didn't shy away from giving them a crash course in biblical eschatology. Much of what we know about the Antichrist actually comes from these letters to the Thessalonians. showing how vital Paul considered this teaching for new believers facing persecution and hardship. This was standard in the early church, yet today, many churches neglect these subjects.
And
Peter Thiel, the Antichrist, would talk about Armageddon all the time. He'd scare people and then offer to save them.
yes, it's the 1 Thessalonians 5:3. The slogan of the Antichrist is peace and safety. And so, which is nothing wrong with peace and safety, but you have to sort of imagine that it resonates very differently in a world where the stakes are so absolute, where the stakes are so extreme, where the alternative to peace and safety is, Armageddon and the destruction of all things. And then that's where peace and safety gets you way more than it would have in 1750.
When even secular thinkers and billionaires begin to discuss the rise of the Antichrist, perhaps it's time for the church to take notice and awaken to the nearness of Christ's return. Ultimately, however, the message for believers is not to focus on the Antichrist, but to look for Christ's coming. As 1 Thessalonians 4 and 5, as well as Matthew 24, remind us, we should live each day with hopeful anticipation, watchfulness, and readiness, because no one knows the day or the hour. If the stage is being set for the Antichrist, then how much nearer must the coming of Jesus Christ be? May we live each day in hope, looking eagerly toward that promise. My name's Jay Fallon. Thanks for listening to The Slippery Slope.
They just fuel a desire that will take me higher. I'm on fire because nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more deals to be done. No more selling out my soul just to focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down. Got my eye on the prize. Gonna sail on the clouds and tears. Don't say nothing's gonna bring me down. Nothing's gonna stop me now. No more deals to be done. No more selling out my soul just to focus on the goal. Nothing's gonna stop me now. Nothing's gonna hold me down.